When you're getting to understand your finances, it's important that you expand your knowledge as much as you can, because personal finance is a matter of getting control of how you think about money. And once you understand how you're thinking about money, then it's a lot easier to manage your money overall. Some of the books that I like so far are Budgeting 101, which is pretty basic. It has a lot of really good tips and advice inside of it that are helpful in understanding how to budget and the different types of budgeting systems there are out there. And then of course there is the I Will Teach You to Be Rich book as well. And this is kind of the same thing. Once you start reading the finance books, you're going to realize there's a lot of repeat of the information. But the only thing that does is it reinforces it in your mind. So you're better able to understand what it is that these books are trying to teach you and what people like myself are trying to teach you about personal finance. So go to your local library, get a book on personal finance, and commit to reading at least 10 pages a day on that topic. It's going to help you get a better idea of all the things involved with personal finance, and it's going to give you more control in the long run over your money because you're going to understand how your money works. One of the easiest ways to start budgeting is the 50-30-20 rule. 50% goes to your needs, like you need a roof over your head, you need heat, you need electricity, you need water, you need a car. 30% goes to your wants. You want to go to yoga class, you want a new pair of hiking boots. And 20% goes to savings or paying off debt. You can adjust this based on what your goals are. For example, if you want to retire earlier, you might want to decrease your needs and decrease your wants, so you can increase your savings. If you want to retire earlier, then you need to do this first. You need to calculate what your FIRE number is. And that means that you need to figure out what you can live on and then what you need to make. What that means is you need to figure out how much money you need to live when you retire. And then that is going to be 4% of whatever this big number is. So for example, if you want to retire and you could live on $40,000 a year, then you would have $1 million in a retirement account, considering that you would be able to take 4% without really cutting into the balance of that account. So you have to figure out how much you need to have invested so you could live off of 4% of that final number, because 4% is what you could take out of the account without really affecting the account. And then you could retire and do whatever the hell you want to all day. What are two different ways to pay off debt? There's the snowball method and the avalanche method. The snowball method is where you take care of the small debts first. So if you have a $50 bill or a $100 bill, you pay those off first. The avalanche method takes a look at how much interest is being charged on what you owe. You pay off the highest interest first. The benefit of the snowball is pretty simple. You're able to gain momentum. You're able to see progress immediately. The benefit of the avalanche is if you owe a lot of money, you're going to save money because you're not paying that in interest. Whichever method you choose, it'll help you get out of debt. So which fits your lifestyle? The avalanche or the snowball? Comment below. Do you ever think that maybe you should get a grade for adulting? Well, you kind of do. It's called a credit score. Your credit score affects what interest rates you get on loans, job offers, and even how much you're going to pay on your rent. A good credit score means you'll actually be saving money. To get your credit score higher, you want to pay on time, use less than 30% of the credit that's available to you, and check your credit report often for any errors. You can get a free copy of your credit report at annualcreditreport.com. I used to be horrible at impulse spending. You want to learn how I stopped? I gave myself a cooling off period. At a minimum, it had to be 24 hours. So I had to wait at least 24 hours for anything that I wanted to purchase that was unplanned. The thing is if you do this, you're going to find out that most of the things that you think you have to have, you'll forget about within 24 hours. If you don't and you decide that you really want them, you could just go back and get them. So give it a try for at least a month and see how it works out for you. I bet you'll be surprised how much money that you don't spend. Saving is so hard unless you make it invisible. See, if you automate your savings, the day you get paid, it automatically goes to another account that's hard for you to access. What happens is you wind up kind of forgetting about it. Out of sight, out of mind, temptation a little bit further away. Take a look at your spending habits and see where you might be able to change your spending habits so you can save more and set that money up to go into a separate savings account, preferably at a bank that is not your primary bank. You'll be surprised how fast the account gets populated with money.